That's life. Sometimes we get hungry.
You know what? Hold on.
Hey man, we gotta start this show, man. I got things to do.
What you got to do, Jay?
Man, I'm just trying to.
Hey, your boy got some peanut brittle. You know how old people pull out their treats?
Oh, Nipsey Russell,
Brock's candy.
Patrick Beverly.
What's going on, Patrick?
I took a sick day a couple of weeks back, and I was watching Hoop Dreams 2, starring Patrick Beverly.
Is really?
Boy, you crazy.
I'm serious. It was Hoop Dreams 2.
Is is he in it? For
Yes, the guy who was in the first Hoop Dreams movie, Arthur, he made a Hoop Dreams 2, and they because Patrick Beverly went to the same high school as him, so he followed him around during his senior year and talking about. Well, I remember back in '92 we did this. You know, we went to state. And then
That's
it
all
just fought.
it's all about. Is they following Patrick Beverly around?
Yeah, and it was showing him getting into a fight with Sharon Collins from Kansas. You know, back when he was a little chunky dude with braids. Then talked about him.
About it because it don't sound like it's a very good movie.
I paid $3 on Amazon for it, so you know.
That was a waste of $3. You
So you
could
saying I
have
should have got my money back?
you could have went to Burger King and got 2 breakfast sandwiches.
that's true.
Okay.
You could have.
Added $1 to that. I'm just saying.
Boom, boom. All right, y'all ready?
All right.
You ready to start the show?
Oh yeah.
And welcome into the Barbershop 918. You up in here with your man Big Drew,
Big Drew.
J Rock,
Boom.
and the one and only Raw Dog.
Arr, arr.
Got a jam-packed show for you today. And you know what?
Damn, baby.
Before we get going, I gotta say this. It's been a long time.
Should have left you. That's a strong
That
big
is
step
big
too.
step too.
Think about the Wednesday shows you slept through. Time's up. Sorry we kept you. And it's been all Jay's fault.
It has. It really has, people. And normally I don't just throw Jay under the bus like that, but it's been a rough season without you. And I blame Jay.
Hey, my mother and father-in-law were in town 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then last week, I had to sing in the choir for the we practice on Wednesdays for the Easter.
Bro,
Yes, it was the mass choir. It was the
somebody
mass
went
choir.
like this, like, you better sing in the choir or you gonna get it. That's what they did, right?
I'm a part of the men's choir and the the young adults choir, so we all had to come together as one.
The mass choir.
Yes, and sing for Easter.
How many people in the mass choir, Jay?
Shoot, what we got, about 22, 23?
That's massive.
Does that qualify as a mass?
No.
Hey,
But-
I got a small church, man, but you know,
Oh, okay.
our
Yeah.
voices, we sound about 200 deep.
Hey, stop using the word mass then.
Who was y'all singing to?
The church.
If everybody was in the choir. I'm just
Hey,
gonna say.
Hey, it was Easter, so you know.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People don't normally go to church. They go
Yeah.
on Easter, Mother's Day,
And Christmas.
Yeah.
CME members.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong with. Well, yeah, it is something wrong with that. I was about to say ain't nothing wrong with that. But at least they going. At least they going.
Yeah.
It's more of an obligation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like paying taxes. I gotta go Christmas and Mother's Day. That's not good.
You know what else you know what else is an obligation? Doing this show. So let's get the show going.
Let's get it booming. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's time for the word. It's time for the word on the street.
Word on the street. It's the sweet one. Woo! Lord have mercy.
If he had a mic, he would have dropped it.
I hope you got a towel. I hope Kendra bring in a towel because all that anointing is just dripping off of you. It's gonna stain the carpet.
You speak. I am a conduit, sir.
Didn't we just say Ray J had plenty of those? All right, so all right,
Good one, Drew.
I try. All right, so J Rock, what you got with the music news, boss?
Music news. The Billboard charts. It's pretty light. Coming in at number 6 is Bobby Tarantino 2
What?
from the rapper Bobby Tarantino 2 from the
is
rapper
that?
Logic.
Logic.
No, that's the name of the
Oh, that's
album
the
from Logic.
album. Oh, okay.
See, I got excited because I thought he said Bobby Valentino, and I was.
Hey, Bobby Valentino got a new song out with Snoop Dogg.
No.
Yes, he does.
Hey, y'all know Snoop Dogg dropped a gospel album, man?
Yes. We're not
I did
heathens.
not.
This is the end times, bro. When Snoop Dogg can drop a gospel album, he gonna end up winning a Stella Award.
Yeah, he is.
All hell gonna break
He
loose.
gonna win a Dove Award and be high as a dove when he receives it.
No, Bobby Valentino got a new song. Bobby V got a new song out, baby. They played on.
I heard that song. They need to throw it in the trash.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds just like Slow Down. Exactly like Slow Down.
I feel like we've recorded a show before and we talked about Bobby Valentino.
Yeah, we have.
And you said that he had a new song that sounded just like Slow Down.
He's sticking with the
I've
formula.
heard it.
Do you blame him?
This is it, bro. It sounds just like Slow Down. And I'm like, this is not 2004, Bobby V. Come on, bro.
He the only person still using Tim
As
and
long
Bob.
as he's not.
What?
Only person still using Tim and Bob. Matter of fact, I think he only using Tim.
It's just Tim.
Yeah.
Bob is gone. You want to know how I know? Because Snoop in the beginning of the song says, yeah, hanging out with Tim and Bobby. Bob said, man, screw this, man. I'm going to get a regular job. It's just Tim.
He an Uber driver now, full time.
Oh, we don't
them Def Jam checks stop coming in, man.
Tim and Bob, man.
Man.
But coming in at number 5 is Migos Culture 2, and number 3 the Black Panther soundtrack.
Like that one song, Stir Fry.
Stir Fry.
That's a hot track. But that's Pharrell. You know that, right?
In the kitchen, whipping like stir fry. That's all
got-
for real.
Ankle twisted. Not ankle. Wrist twisted. Starring like, yeah, that's Pharrell. He did the beat.
Oh, okay. All right. As far as with new albums, the only new album that's coming out this Friday is Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy. It looks like they rushed this album out because she is apparently pregnant with Offset from the Migos. You know, she's carrying his baby. So she released a new single called "Be Careful," which samples the Lauryn Hill, the hook for "Care for Me." I forgot the name of the song. Whatever the name of that. The X Factor. Yeah, she uses that.
But here's the thing: did you see Cardi without makeup on? Yeah. Makes you look at her differently, don't you?
You said like you like it. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, this chocolate cake is good.
No, it's like, this chocolate cake is spoiled.
What?
They use sour cream instead of milk? What?
Oh my God.
Some folks need makeup, man. I'm just saying. Some folks just need makeup. And apparently Cardi's one of them. Bless her heart.
And that's the music for this week. Raw Dog, what we got in the box office?
All right, well, what y'all want first, the box office or what's coming out?
What's coming out?
All right, what's coming out? Now, I'm really wanting to check this one out. Have y'all seen previews for this thriller called A Quiet Place?
No. Yes, I have. Yes.
Got John.
Yeah. I
John
seen it.
Krasinski, who was in The Office, played. Jay don't know. John Krasinski. I forgot the character he played in The Office, but he was the guy that was always looking at the camera like, yeah, everybody out here crazy.
Yeah.
But he directs this one, and basically, it's apparently it's in the apocalyptic times, and whatever this creature is that's hunting everybody is blind and only kills by hearing. So they all have to be quiet. So the whole movie, they're not even talking. So I just want to see it based on...
It's a silent film, then.
It's a silent film.
Like a Charlie Chaplin kind of.
I want to see how they're going to pull this off.
You know, the Charlie Chaplin had that Hitler mustache and got away. I mean, like, I know he was pre-Hitler, but still.
Was it right here? Yeah, well, he did have a Hitler mustache. He really did.
Oh, God, stop
Didn't he
it.
predate Hitler?
Yeah, he predated it, but yet we still
Hitler
celebrate.
actually copied on him. Why are we talking about Hitler?
He comes up in every show, just like Ray J and Chocolate Cake.
And
I,
Kashif.
I digress, sir. I'm gonna check this A Quiet Place out. So the next one that I think is pretty interesting is a movie called Blocker.
Yes.
It's about
Baller Blockers 3?
no, bro. Blockers. It's about these three
Oh,
parents
okay.
who stumble upon their
Oh,
to lose their
yeah. John Cena.
and you notice they have a male chicken right before the word blockers, right? So you know what they're really trying to say, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't understand. What are they trying to say?
You know what they're trying to say. You ain't stupid, but I don't know. And the next one I think is kind of interesting is a movie called Chappaquiddick.
What?
Yeah. See, you don't know your history, Jay. But back in like what 19
He just assumed you stupid.
back in like 1976, Ted Kennedy got into this car accident where his vehicle went into the water and ended up killing. Hey man, you want to act like you're a little bit interested, dude? We are. This is Canada, man. And
Didn't he have a prostitute or something in there?
No, it was one of his campaign workers, and she ended up dying, and he got out somehow. So this movie kind of talks about the cover-up. There was a cover-up. And that whole thing about the Kennedys trying to keep their peanuts.
Too many nuts.
Hey, Paul.
Pause.
The whole thing about the Kennedys trying to keep their legacy intact. All right. Now, as far as box office results, it's been a while since we're doing a show. We went 2 weeks. Black Panther couldn't stay on that long, but nonetheless, Black Panther's still in the mix. Number 5,
yes,
Pacific Rim Uprising, which, by the way, I saw. This is really a good flick. It's got my man John Boyega in it. That's the brother from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually better than the first one. I went to Warren Theaters and did the dinner and the movie thing. Yo,
fancy pants.
Well, you know, every now and then you gotta, you know.
You didn't sit with the peasants when you watched that, did you?
Yeah, I really did. Because we're on the balcony, right? We were watching the other people who can't afford the dinner downstairs. Oh, God. I said, babe, them downstairs. No, just playing.
Did you throw them some of your table scraps? Like, here, you can have my garnish.
Peasants.
No, I ate the garnish. Because it's pricey.
Here, take the rest of my pork chop, you peasants.
You know you want it. Number 4.
Take it. Eat the meat.
Pause.
Pause.
Man. Hey, what's wrong with you today, man?
It's been a long time.
Somebody's being very inappropriate today. And it's not me for once. All right,
I get it from you.
He does.
Jay, shut up. Number 4, I Can Only Imagine. This is the movie about...
That's surprising.
Why?
Oh, that's a real movie. I thought
Yeah.
you were about to say the real title of the movie.
Jay.
Yeah, it's a Christian movie, you heathen.
Oh, my God. And you in the mass choir.
Oh, God. Man, I'm so sorry. I got to
And the
relax.
mass choir acting like an ass. Look at you, man. I'm doing that, man.
Hey, Drew, you got to edit that. He just said something about me.
He
called
did.
me the A word.
He said you was in the A choir instead of the M choir.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is an actual real movie. This is the lead singer of Mercy Me. It's his biography about how he wrote the song I Can Only Imagine.
Yeah.
Of course,
a good song.
Of course, heathens like Jay think that's funny. So
He
anyway,
he only know Kurt Franklin's Imagine Me.
Oh, God.
This is it. And nobody don't remember the original version. They just remember Kurt Franklin's This Is It. Anyway. Number 3, Black Panther. Number 3. So, and I think this weekend made $11 million. Matter of fact, Black Panther has actually gone over the $1.28 billion worldwide.
Billion.
It is the 4th largest domestic movie ever. 4. It's number 4. There's only 3 movies that made more. I think that was Star Wars,
Avengers.
Avatar.
Sorry.
I think Avengers. That's it. Number 2 is I lost my place. Oh, Tyler Perry's Acrimony.
Oh, wants to go see that this weekend.
Now,
All right.
now you've
Jay-
told us it was a coming of age comedy, right, Jay?
Okay. You guys have seen Tyler Perry movies before, right?
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's he does some of his movies in his Tyler Perry studio, in Atlanta. So it was a few scenes where they were walking like near the river, and you can tell that it was a fake, background and everything, a backdrop. And then they had this preacher in the movie who was like, marrying the couple. He had like fake hair, and he had to be about 70 years old. He had like James Earl Jones hair from Meteor Man.
Oh wow.
And so then it was these three older ladies who were intoxicated. So every line in the movie, they had something to say. Anytime Taraji Henson says something, oh girl, you tell him. You better hit him.
Wait. This wasn't in the movie. This was in the movie theater y'all were at.
This was in the movie theater where we were at. But
Yeah.
the old man with the hair was in the movie.
Oh, okay. Was
Yeah,
it,
so it was alright.
it was a typical Tyler Perry movie.
Now, keep in
No,
mind, two drunk old black ladies come with every screening of the movie, so
Yeah.
you'll have
Three.
that
It was
same.
three. It was three.
Yeah.
It was three.
Well, only two up here because it ain't many black people, so that's gentrification for you.
okay.
So
Yeah.
it made number 2, but number 1 goes to Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One.
How?
Oh.
Man, a lot of colonizers went out and saw it, bro. We went and saw
You know
Tyler
what?
Perry. Colonizers saw this one.
You know what I went to go see? Wrinkle in
What?
Time. Good
Well, good for
movie.
you, sir.
Great movie, man.
Let me tell you what number it is now.
8?
It's 8. You're right. It's 8.
How do I know
But
stuff like that?
How did you know that? Did you guess?
I did. It was just a legitimate guess.
Hey, is Boo 2 still on the countdown?
Who?
Boo 2.
Yeah, 'cause you said,
Boo.
I thought you said Boo 2. I'm like, I ain't heard no movie like that, bro.
Boo 2.
No, man, it's not. It's not. That's not. I mean, you being real reckless, Jay. Jay's been real.
Hey, it's been a long time. I missed y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. 2 weeks without a podcast. This is supposed to be episode 100, man.
It should. It should.
But you got married, and then and I think that's it, sir.
Oh.
Those are the box office chumps for the week. Bang.
All right, so going on with television news, man, I got a chance to watch Tracy Morgan's The Last OG last night. It was good, man. I like it. And I'm glad it's on TBS because it's sort of like the benefit of like Atlanta being on on
FX.
FX. I said USA. Wow.
USA.
Does USA still exist?
Yeah, it has the unsolved 2-pack in Biggie show.
It's still called USA though?
No, that was
USA.
That was on A&E, wasn't it?
No, it's on USA.
It's still
I
called
don't
USA.
think USA still exists.
It's still,
Yes,
man.
because
Okay.
I don't know who's
Monday Night
watching.
Raw comes on it and SmackDown.
That's what keeps USA on is the wrestling.
Yeah.
Because
It's-
somebody else watches what's on USA.
Yeah. So I watched it, man. It was a pretty good show. I think it's, seeing Tiffany Haddish back on TV is a good thing. I think I like seeing. It seemed realistic because we all got that uncle or somebody who gets out of jail and he gets out and he finds Brooklyn is gentrified, which is real. He goes to jail the night of American Idol, season 1, thinking Justin's gonna win. He come out of jail and everything done changed. And Justin's probably on TV doing it's the Sweet One commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Go figure.
I
No,
think
it's funny. It's
I
very
don't
funny.
I don't know if the premise it lasts beyond like 2 seasons for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be amused by it. It's gonna be funny, but I don't know if Tracy Morgan is 2-3 seasons deep worth of funny. Like,
Well, see, but the thing is, it's not really on Tracy Morgan's head alone because you got Peele, who's one of the executive producers of this particular series.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, and Jordan Peele is hilarious. And with the clout he got with Get Out, I think this series probably be on at least for about 4 seasons. I would give it 4 seasons, but
Well,
it's not relying upon just Tracy Morgan by himself. Like the Tracy Morgan Show was on NBC a few years ago that had Heavy D on there, and it sucked. This one is actually pretty well written,
yeah.
and it's funny.
And it's on TBS. Like, what else is on TBS? What else?
The Final Four.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, it's not on CBS.
That's what I was like, now turn to CBS. I got mad at my son. I was like, boy, turn to CBS. He was like, it's on TBS, Daddy. I was like, I don't believe you. I don't know about that.
Hey, it's the end times, man. We got to get right with God. Things ain't right. Man.
They didn't gentrify my TV. You got to have
PBS. Jay get reckless.
Yeah.
Times they are changing, sir.
Yeah. Ray J's going to be our next president. I'm calling it.
I believe it.
Yes.
I believe it.
He gonna
come in the White House with hoes.
Scooty Wipes. Scooty Wipes.
You see,
they're gonna be in the cabinet.
Jay, your recklessness is bleeding over to innocent raw dog. What's wrong with you?
Don't ever call him innocent.
Hey, what you mean, man? Oh man, don't say that.
Also,
man. Anyway.
On Netflix. Okay, now before we get to Netflix, let's talk about this last episode of Blackish, or the Easter episode of Blackish.
The Easter episode of Blackish was awesome.
Whew.
I mean, this is basically Bo's white side of the family and Andre's black side of the family all came together for one night. And there was obviously some issues. One of the things that came up was the whole fixing of the plate, which is something I think we've all actually discussed amongst us, right?
We discussed, do you fix the kid's plate before the husband's plate?
Yeah, we did discuss that. We discussed that, and does the wife even fix the plate? And I was pro fixed plate. Jay was anti fixed plate. Now in this series, he was. Yeah, he was.
I was just saying that my
you wasn't married yet at the time, right?
He wasn't married yet. Now.
Oh, okay.
Just to say that he wasn't married yet. So he got the ring on. Now he can say whatever he wants. All right. So basically, Bo fixed Andre a plate, and Bo's mom was like, "How you fixing him a plate? I thought I taught you better. Haven't we come so far as women that we're not fixing our husband's plate? He can fix his own plate." And so Bo didn't fix his plate, and Andre got an attitude. And then Andre's grandmother said there's a reason why black women fixed their husband's plate, because of all the stuff that black men had to deal with at that time. We're talking about like in the 50s and 60s. And black men got trampled on so much. They got called the N-word. They worked subservient jobs just to make ends meet. And at the very least, they could come home, get some love shown to them by a nice big plate of food. Okay. And they also went into the different types of food that black people eat versus what white folks eat. Because the white side ate beets. And it was like, why y'all eating beets? And there was a whole story behind why they eat beets. It was something to do with the Holocaust. And said their family would eat that because they were hiding from the Germans. So basically, there was a reason why all these so-called traditions were there. So it was a really good episode about traditions and why they're there and why we do what we do, especially around the holidays.
So Jay, you getting your plate fixed later on if we ever get out this show?
That dinner I smell down there? I think so. I think so.
He's not getting his plate fixed.
hey, my plate was fixed 2 weeks ago on the Easter episode. Yeah.
Boy, she fixed your plate, or you watched somebody's plate get fixed?
No, my wife made my plate, and it was delicious.
Now, why you didn't stop her? Because back a few months ago, you was like, I would never let my wife fix my plate. I can fix my own plate. Now you're going, yeah, she fixed my plate, and it was delicious. What's going on, man?
Because I was at church when it happened. You know what I'm saying? My brother, I was at church.
So she got to be at church to fix her plate?
So let me ask you this, Jay.
I was at church.
Jay, was it a good fixed plate? Was your greens, did it did it carry over into the cornbread? Did you have soggy bottom of the cornbread? Did she fix your plate with love? Or was you just excited that your plate got fixed? Or was it properly fixed?
That's the plate. Question.
The plate was fixed with love. I'm talking about it was juices dripping out of the aluminum foil when I took it off. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, so she didn't serve it to you. You still had to go and get it yourself.
Oh, she brought you a plate.
No. I was at church.
At church, and she was home, She fixed your plate, put it in the microwave with aluminum foil, and you went and warmed your food up.
No. It was still warm, and so I sat down, and that's when we started watching the Blackish episode because
Did she
my
literally
wife watched
bring the plate to you?
No, I brought the plate to myself because I came in.
That ain't the same, Doc. That ain't the same.
So what has to happen, Jay, for you to qualify for like big boy status, right? You gotta be sitting on the couch watching the game, and then she yells from the kitchen, "Hey, babe, what you want on your plate?" Now, once that happens, you're a grown man.
You up here, bro.
You're a grown man. You at the big boy
right
table.
now, you down here. You up here when she do that, bro.
That's my age range. Now you gotta graduate. Now you get to Raw Dog's age. She ain't yelling from the kitchen because she know. She just knows. It ain't no mystery.
Hey, yo, man.
She come with the big piece of chocolate cake. The biggest pork chop. It's already
there. How you broke that down? He's absolutely right, sir.
And it's nothing sexist about what I'm saying. That's just true black love. That's all.
We gonna make some women mad. You know that, right?
I don't, you know what, or proud that we are recognizing the amount of love that a black woman or white woman or just a woman can give us in general.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
It's the small things, bro.
It is.
You're right. It is levels. There are levels, bro. And you'll get there, son.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Hopefully you don't tear out your wrist or anything, like you don't get no injury trying to, go from the microwave to that's a lot. That's a lot, man. Good luck. God be with you, man. God bless you. I hope you don't.
Salute you, sir.
And you got to get your drink too, man.
Oh my God!
Hey, can we move on to Atlanta? Can we move on to Atlanta? I've been waiting to talk about Atlanta.
Gotta put the ice in it too. Dang, you poor kid.
All right, so
what? Right, Jay.
What we got going on with the last episode of Atlanta, man?
Yo, this was one of the funnier episodes. This is Bibby, right?
Yes, yeah, Bibby, the barbershop episode.
The barbershop episode was one of the funniest ones to date. Bibby's a trip. I don't even know how you even describe this episode. Bibby made Paperboy's life hell for like the whole episode, and all Paperboy wanted was a haircut. Bibby lying to his woman. Bibby getting caught in deals that's going wrong. Bibby getting into an accident with Paperboy in the car. Bibby's kids pulled a little petty on him. It was a great episode, man.
No, it's like we continue to say, Atlanta, Donald Glover, his brother Steven, they are excellent writers. It's everybody. When we had hair, everybody had that barber who I don't know about y'all, but had that barber who pretty much was like Bibby. You have an appointment for 10:30, and you're not getting a haircut to 12:10 because they doing every other thing in the world except cutting your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who played the role of Bibby, Donald Glover discovered him on Def Comedy Jam. He did a set. Yeah, Robert Powell III.
Yeah.
And so he said he had no acting, skills, everything. They just pretty much wrote his part right then and there. And did he did his ad libs and improvised on certain parts. But it was a great episode.
It was one of the few pure comedy episodes. It was just straight comedy all the way through. And he played the heck out that role, bro.
Yeah, you just gotta, like with all the Atlanta episodes that I like, you have to watch it twice because the first time you don't catch all of like the little funny one-liners and everything that just gets you, just makes you laugh.
Because you laughing after the first one, you don't catch the other ones because you cracking up.
All right, so for time's sake, what we're going to do is we're going to come back next week and we're going to talk about some of the things going on Netflix and do a review. And we'll probably just bring on the binge watching queen. But as for right now, we're going to exit. We're going to exit the word on the street.
Word on the street.
Hey, never, ever do that again, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to stop doing that.
I'm in the mass choir, man. I was trying to help you out, brother.
Man, nobody. Hey, I need your help from your mask. Just shut your mask up.
I'm in the A group. According to True, I'm in the A group.
Hey.
The A and B selection.
Shut up, man. Nobody asked you for your mask. All right. Can I? I gotta do an outro too. I don't know how to intro and an outro.
I was just giving you a second chance, but let's move on.
Word on the streets, it's a sweet word.
That was horrible.
Hey,
You need to be
hey,
replaced.
Did you see my R&B pose?
Oh, I'm emotional. Carl Thomas with a sweater on face.
All right.
Man.
So let's go ahead and let's talk about what went down with the NCAA real quick. The women's to me was much more of a thrilling Final Four than the men's. But Jay, what we got?
Notre Dame, they were the Cinderella story this year. They had 5 players out this season who tore their ACLs, including one of their best players, but they fought, and made it all the way to the Final Four, where they defeated the undefeated UConn Huskies on a buzzer beater in overtime. Who was that? And they ended up playing Mississippi State, who beat Louisville in overtime. And in the championship game, Notre Dame won on a buzzer beater. Their star point guard, Areka Abumulage Wale.
I'm sure that's not.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not right.
I think she plays for the Sparks.
No, you thinking of Abumulage.
See, you just said the same thing, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna do it like
Areka, man. It ain't Areka.
Areka.
Rex in
I'll do it
effects.
like this. I'll do it like this. Notre Dame point guard number 24 for the women.
There you go.
She's a big Kobe fan, but she hit 2 game winners to help Notre Dame win their first national championship since 2001. And she's only a junior, so she'll be back next year. And Notre Dame is going to go for a run again. Like Drew said, the women's championship game was more exciting than the men's championship game, because in the men's Final Four, Loyola Chicago, they lost to Michigan. You know, they were
And they had that game, dude. They had it. It was right there for them to get it. And if
they just ran out of gas.
Loyola would have won, that would have been a much more interesting final championship game. That Villanova Michigan game, I fell asleep on it, man. It wasn't exciting at all.
It just irks me how the media treated, the Black Twitter and all of these goons that are on the social media, how they treated Sister Jean. You know what I'm saying? She was the star of the Final Four, the NCAA tournament for 2 weeks. Then Loyola Chicago loses once, and then they put the Jordan face on it. That's mean.
Wrong. That's wrong. She's a sister, man. That's wrong.
Yeah,
Is that the same thing as a nun? Is that the same thing as a nun?
I thought she was the.
Why not?
What is the person that prays before each game? The chaplain? I thought she was the chaplain. I think she was the chaplain. But anywho, Villanova won their second championship in 3 years. They Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Dante
DaVincenino, something Italian.
Villanova shooting guard number 10. Let's go. Named Dante.
You know they had to go back and scrub his Twitter, right? Because
he liked to say the N-word, right?
Yeah. He liked to say it. He liked to quote it.
Is that okay?
No, it's not.
H-Naw.
But
he need to get his mask kicked.
But Villanova, they won their second national championship in 3 years. I don't think they're going to have a dynasty because Brunson and Bridges are probably going to enter the NBA draft. So it was good to see.
You know who else is going in the NBA draft? What's his name? Trae Young from
yeah, that's no surprise. Yeah.
Everybody knew that was coming.
So he going to be a one and done? Don't we have a problem with one and dones?
They're usually the ones that get in trouble.
Well, see,
that we don't like one and done.
Jay, do you feel like, one, that's a nice bathroom? I like what you're doing back there. Second, do you feel that what's going on with like Villanova's success is kind of proving that the one and done model isn't necessarily the best for college teams?
Yeah, because Villanova, from top to bottom, they were one of the top 3 teams the entire season. That's because they had their core players stay together for more than 1 year. You're looking at the Duke and Kentucky, teams who they bring in all these McDonald All-Americans who they know they're not going to stay for more than 1 year because they're going to go pro, but they're not putting together a team that can win a national championship because, even though, Duke lost in the Elite Eight and Kentucky lost in the Sweet 16. Coach K and John Calipari, they're like, okay, I'm just getting you ready for the draft, baby. You're going to be a lottery pick. I'm going to be there right there patting you on your back. They're not caring about the long term, of them developing basketball skills that are going to help them, even though they're going to get paid right now, but their career is going to be over in 4 to 5 years. I can see Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges playing for multiple years in the NBA because they stayed in school for more than they've been in school for 3 years.
They got G
They've
League names
competed.
though.
They do.
They got G League
Jay,
names for real. Like
He's
they gonna be
right.
playing for the Iowa Barnstormers.
Oklahoma 60s, Oklahoma
Blue.
Oklahoma City Blue.
You're right though. They did stay for 3 years. That and to me, that means that when they get into the NBA, they're going to be mentally ready for it. As opposed to all these one and dones that get in and they don't. They can't. They could have used another year or two in college.
Well, and then now we're about to have this line of none and dones also with individuals choosing to just really go and skip the college experience altogether and just prepare for the draft independently through foreign ball or even if LeVar Ball gets his little league going, that type of thing. So
no, can't everybody be LeBron, man? Can't everybody be LeBron? There's only one LeBron.
And Kobe.
Or Lou Williams.
Kevin Garnett.
There's 1,000 Kwame Browns, though.
Yeah, there is, unfortunately. All right. Yeah, it is. All right, so it's time for us to do a top five. Top five. Gentlemen, are you ready with your top five?
I'm cold with the top five, baby.
I'm not cold with the top five.
I thought I told them. It's brisk in here, huh, Jay?
Forget it every week.
Today's top five, Jay, you came up with this top five. It's top five shows that you said you would like to see relaunched. And it's because you're a huge Trump fan and Roseanne's a huge Trump fan. So you felt like let's celebrate all of, like this and make this show great again with a top five.
Yeah, my top five is.
He didn't deny that he was a Trump supporter. You see that?
He didn't.
What are you talking about? I voted for Joe Biden.
Joe Buttons.
Voted. Yeah, Joe Button. New Joe Biden.
I voted it up.
The top five this week is top five shows that you would like to see relaunched. That's based off of, Roseanne's been out the air for over 20 years, and they came back last week. They had 26 million viewers. So I'm hearing it was good reviews on the show. They got picked up for a second season. So it's the top five shows that we want rebooted, And I'm gonna it's either shows or series, So I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go number 5, Teen Summit on BET.
Oh.
The reason why I say that is because in this in the 21st century, it's a lot of stuff going on right now that are affecting minorities in this day and age, and we need a show where they can express themselves and be able to get that information like we got back in the 90s. And I feel like even if it's not on BET, if it's on MTV, or even if it's on Netflix or or anything YouTube, we need a show like Teen Summit to come back to help the youth of tomorrow, because right now they're lost.
To the young black youth.
Number 4, I'm gonna go with Rap City. Rap City. The reason why I say Rap City is because when Big Tigger was on Rap City, he was interviewing these artists, and some of us, like we were pro East Coast, pro West Coast, pro down South. Now, if we had like a show like Rap City or even Yo MTV Raps, to where they can interview these people and get give us a little backstory to why they want to become a rapper, and then let them freestyle in the booth. We can see if they really are a rapper or are they just a culture vulture, Let's see if you can really spit a hot 16.
Hold on. Don't we already have like Sway for that and Breakfast Club and all that kind of stuff?
Well, nobody spits on the Breakfast Club. That was just Safari. That was just
they do on Sway. They do on Sway.
But Sway is just not many people go on Sway, and spit that hot fire.
Yeah, they do. They have freestyle every time every show.
But I like Big Tigger because Big Tigger, he was spitting. Sway's like, all right, yeah, rock the beat, yeah, put that phone away. I don't want you looking at your them written down lyrics.
Right.
I like when Big Tigger went in the booth with him. Okay, number 3, I'm gonna go with In Living Color. In Living Color, that was a show that, if it was relaunched now, it would be a lot. I'm sure it wouldn't be on Fox. I'm sure it would probably be on YouTube or Netflix, just based off of the material that they could go with today. And it's a lot of stuff. I mean, even though we have Saturday Night Live, I feel like In Living Color would be more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more X-rated or whatever or whatnot than it would be from 1990. Number 2, I would say The Wire. The reason why I say The Wire is because, I mean, if you look at it, The Chi is similar to The Wire in my own opinion, just based on how the season ended. That's how The Wire would always end each season. Like, they give you like clues going into the next season as to, okay, this person is doing this person's doing that. Okay, this is what we got to look forward to for the next season. And then number 1, I would like to see like Hanging with Mr. Cooper, like a 2018 version. And like when I was teaching, I used to always say Hanging with Mr. Wallace because it was based off of Hanging with Mr. Cooper because he had a former career as a basketball player and he became a teacher. I would love to see yeah, you know what I'm saying? I played 3 years in the league, you know what I'm saying? I put up numbers, ask my homies.
At the intramural league?
Yeah, intramural league. And I became a coach after that, but, I still hold the record for double-doubles.
And you were dunking on kids.
Allegedly.
No, there's footage.
That wasn't a kid. That was what's the politically correct? What's the politically correct word?
Dwarf.
Somebody.
Little person.
Baby.
Little person. Thank you.
Child.
Okay, and that is my top 5 list. Rawness.
That was a long list. I'm gonna go through mine real quick, man. Number 5.
I gotta eat. Shoot.
Yeah. Well, stop talking so doggone much. Number 5. Animaniacs.
Yes. Brilliant show. Brilliant show.
Yeah, whatever. Number 4. Married with Children.
Yes. Man, y'all listen.
Gotta bring them back. Number 3. Bosom Buddies. Hey, Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari back, baby. Where are they now?
Dressing like women, right?
Dressing like women. Oh, that's comedy genius.
No comment.
Comedy genius, sir. Bosom Buddies. Number 2, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, man. We need it back. And we ain't gonna have Uncle Phil, but we'll have everybody else. But why don't we bring back the original Aunt Viv? That'd be interesting.
That ain't happening as long as if Will Smith has anything to do with it. Aunt Viv, the original, wants nothing to do with it.
Number 1, Good Times. And bring James back, just like they brought Dan back in Roseanne. Because Dan died at the end of Roseanne. So if Dan can die at the end of Roseanne, James can come back from that automobile. We didn't really see James die. Matter of fact, they got a telegram. Who sent a telegram to tell somebody that their husband died?
CBS did it.
There was some phones back then.
CBS was trying to save some money. Like,
FTV sent a telegram saying, "Stop! Your husband is dead. Stop."
Hey, what's James Evans' real name?
Huh?
What's James Evans' real name?
John Amos.
CBS had a restraining order against John Amos. They was like, he's never out of character. We don't want him on the set.
They couldn't even kill him off right, man. They got a telegram that your husband died. Man, who does that? Bring Good Times back, man. Hey. Wait a minute, that's what's happening.
What's happening?
Dynamite.
All right. What? That's the painting, right?
Yep.
right, so mine, I've got a bunch of honorable mentions, just to make you happy. All right, so with my honorable mentions here, I got BET Uncut. Just playing.
Yes,
I
yes, yes.
said it because I know y'all wanted to say that, so I just wanted to.
Wanna kick it tonight?
You ain't got no panties on. You ain't no panties on.
I need a tip drill. I need a tip drill.
I'm like, these songs are horrible, but I can't look away.
All right, so you already said Good Times. I'm gonna say Moesha, New and News Radio, as well as Moesha and News Radio are my other.
I like News Radio was good.
Yeah. Number 5, the Carmichaels.
Yes.
I hear that it could potentially come back, but I doubt it.
It just left. It just left like a year ago, bro.
Yeah,
We didn't want it to leave.
Didn't want it to leave. Yeah.
Right.
Number 4, Pro Stars, cartoon with Bo Jackson.
Oh, I remember that.
Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky.
Superheroes.
And I want it to be actually them. Like them as old people. Or you can reboot it with new people. I don't care. All right.
LeBron, Odell Beckham, Sidney Crosby.
Odell got a onesie on.
Yeah, that's sad. All right. Number 3, I got Arrested Development. Number 2, I have a 2-way tie with Living Single and Three's Company. Couldn't really determine which one would be better. But I want both of them back.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Not for Jay. He's Three's Company. I mean, I could see it in his face.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't say Martin. Martin wasn't on Jay's list.
No, I don't want Martin to come back.
They're coming back, sir.
No.
And Martin ain't gonna be moving as fast as he was when he doing Dragonfly Jones. He's gonna be like, ugh.
Did you hear Nate Robinson call Corey Brewer Dragonfly Jones all night during the game?
That's terrible, man.
All right,
he had to be drunk.
Dragonfly Jones.
All right, number 1 is New York Undercover. The
yes,
music,
sir.
It was a good show in general. Ice-T is on. I want Ice-T on the right side of the law, man. I don't want Ice-T as a cop anymore. I need Ice-T back on the wrong side. I hate you, JT.
I hate JT so bad.
My finger hurts.
Oh, man. I got to go to the hospital. I've been hating JT more than 4 hours. Y'all get that in a minute.
That's hilarious. And you got the covers off the chain.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
All right, so that's my top 5.
We were
all right. We were cold with it today. I'm ready to talk some round ball, some NBA.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. The Oklahoma City Thunder are a good team, and honestly, I feel like we've got a shot to make it to the finals. Now fight me on this, because I feel like they're the best team in basketball right now, hands down.
Let me tell you something. Carmelo needs to hang it up. Paul George, I don't know what's wrong with his shot. Russell is Russell, but Russell ain't no leader. So we got a team that's in a boat and nobody's leading them in the right direction. So we just basically going in circles in the middle of the ocean. That ain't gonna do it. That ain't gonna win rings. I don't know what the Thunder are gonna do.
You all right? Yeah.
I said I was distracted, sir.
I was just getting my charger. That's all. My phone was going.
I was distracted. I don't know what they're gonna do, but it ain't looking good. That's all I'm saying. It ain't looking good, man. They looked bad against Golden State, a game that they could have won. Golden State didn't have Steph Curry. They didn't have half the people they had was Kevin Durant and Monkey Man. That's all they had. That's all they had, man. And we lost to them.
No, I mean,
well, they say that,
Clay. I would say Clay scored 20 points. That's.
But still, they stayed with Golden State and could have beat them. We just made questionable decisions, like with 2 minutes left. We are I'll shoot a 3 in a minute type of team, even if we ain't hitting them. We'll shoot a 3 in a second.
Well, I think something just as much as Paul George is man enough to admit something's wrong with his shot right now. Russ needs to be man enough to admit something's wrong with his shot. He's got that, toward the press. He has that real, I guess, cavalier. He has this jacked up attitude toward the press where, they ask, well, why'd you, jack up that last shot? And he was like, why do you think? And it's like, no, I want a legitimate answer as a fan. Even and I don't like the way reporters treat, players. But on the same token, it's sort of like, what is the psyche? Like, help me understand as a fan. What am I up against here? Like, or is that really your attitude that even though you know you're off, you're gonna shoot another air ball just because you're Russ? Just because? What do you think? Like, I don't like that, man. So you're right. He's not a leader, man. He's not
a leader. And that team needs a leader badly, man. And they haven't had a leader even when Kevin and the Beard was on there, man. They didn't have a leader then. They just made it to the finals by pure talent. This team has never had a leader.
Yeah, Kevin didn't want to be the leader, and he did. Yeah, he doesn't have to be a leader here. He can temporarily fill in. He's that fill. You know that guy who act like he in charge when the boss is out of town. That's pretty much what Kevin is right now.
He's the assistant manager.
Yeah, yeah.
Not shift leader. Not assistant manager, shift leader.
Yeah, and he's just doing too much. And you know what's gonna happen? Draymond gonna go off on him. Like, I've been the Draymond when the fake leader goes at trying to tell me what to do, and it's like, hey man, look, I know how to do my job. Go sit down.
Shut up.
Then I get rolled up when the real leader come back. Anyway.
Insubordination, huh?
What you think, Jay?
I mean, I was thinking about this last night. Have you guys noticed that in the time that Oklahoma City has been, the Thunder have been here, that whenever we bring in players that are not drafted by us, it just never works out? No. Like we had our Ibaka, Harden, Durant, Westbrook, Collison, players that they've been drafted, but whenever we bring in somebody via trade or free agency or something, it never works out. They always leave the next season. And it's just I don't know if it's Russ having the Allen Iverson syndrome where, you just can't play with another superstar. I mean, you had a superstar there, but this season, I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just everybody just doesn't have that dog like him. Like last night, outside of Corey Brewer and Russ, nobody else played with any like energy or play like this was a playoff game. Like right now, they're currently in the 6th spot. If they lose their last 3 games, it's a chance that they can miss the playoffs again for the second time in 4 years. And I would think that in this situation, this is a playoff game on Saturday against the Rockets. Granted, they have clinched the #1 spot, but Harden has got a lot to prove. He's going to win MVP, but they're not going to sit their starters. D'Antoni's going to play them. They need to come out with some energy and play with some heart, because last night, granted, Russ went full one-on-one mode, but he was passing the ball to the teammates. They just weren't making shots. They were nervous. You had Josh Eustace, missing layups. Jeremy Grant fumbling the ball. Raymond Felton missing open shots. I believe
everybody you named was benched. The bench did not show up at all. They got outperformed. And to think about this, what if we fall to that 7 seed? We wind up playing them. Golden State's bench just gets better because Iguodala will be back. Will Livingston be back by then? So
Livingston as well.
So now you got a for real, team coming off the bench, and meanwhile Patrick Patterson has disappeared the whole season, just disappearing that whole season. I mean, he'll show up every now and then, but he's pretty much Lou. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't want us, man. Like he's not a part of this team. So I blame a lot of it on coaching, man. Just not getting the right rotation and allowing the bench to ever get a good enough offensive rhythm throughout the year.
How do you explain Carmelo then?
Oh, Carmelo is old, like you said. But I'll put it to you like this. With Carmelo, he represents the same frustration we had with, even though Cantor came off the bench, he represents that same frustration we had with Sabonis and Cantor, where it's like he can be good on one end and frustrating on the other end. And I feel like he's all right. He's pretty proficient offensively. I don't want much more from Carmelo offensively. However, defensively, he's such a liability that it's ridiculous. I mean,
I don't think he's good offensively as well. His shot is off. He keeps shooting threes.
Well, I mean, that's all they told him he can shoot.
He's not consistent enough. I mean, his shot is backing him up and shooting over him. That's
if he's got the advantage, and I think that comes with us executing the offense properly. Where when you got these young players in there, it is about making sure that he gets the mismatch. Because truthfully, Carmelo switching to the 4 doesn't always get that all that often. But when he gets it, he has tried to exploit it. But in order for him to make that, he needs like to dribble the ball like at least 100 times before he gets the feel of the ball. Because and he doesn't get the chance to do that with Russ. And so maybe this summer they'll work on getting some sort of rhythm going. But truthfully, I hope Carmelo somehow ends up playing for the Clippers next year.
I think this experiment will be over soon.
Well, I mean, Carmelo has an opt-in of.
We'll have Russell in the 5 heartbeats.
No, I mean, Carmelo has an opt-in of $28 million. I mean, who's going to pass up $28 million unless he retires? So he's going to be back, and it's going to be hard to move that $28 million in a trade unless they buy him out. And I don't think they're going to do that. It's going to be a very interesting week because a week from now, we're going to either be smiling on episode 100 or we're going to be very disappointed that the Thunder haven't fired Billy Donovan for them not making the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know we was at episode 99 already. So I don't know. That was my takeaway from that statement. I was paying attention. That was my big takeaway.
We too legit to quit, baby. We too legit to quit.
Yeah. All right. So for me, what do you think, man? Like, do you think we make the playoffs? What seed do you think we'll be? Because look, San Antonio looked playoff ready for the first 3 quarters of that game against the Clippers last night, and then blew it at the last minute. So they're playing no different than we are. So that last 5 teams in the playoff. Well, no, because the
Jazz are cooking right now.
The Jazz are cooking. So the last 4 teams in the playoffs are shady. So I don't know I think if the Jazz end up with home court, I think everybody with home court walks into the next round.
If we make it to the playoffs, I don't think it's gonna do us any good. We may actually get knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, we will. I mean, I legitimately look at it like this: unless we get the Jazz, and that, like, if I believe we can beat the Jazz. I believe we can beat whoever would be the 4 seed. I honestly believe whoever lands in the 4 seed, we got a legit chance of going at. Portland, although young, I don't know if we can beat Portland. I think we can take it. But right now, we're not playing like we have an answer to C.J. McCollum. And that's the only concern I have, because I think Russ can go, tit for tat with Damian Lillard. I feel like Adams can go with their bigs. I don't feel and I feel like our bench can hold it. There's one factor. Will Paul George show up, and will he show up in a way that can shut down someone like a C.J. McCollum? Can he shut down a secondary? Well, we really need him to shut down primary scores. And that's where I was disappointed with George last night. Not that his shot is broke, because that happens with shooters who don't get a rhythm. I was more disappointed that on the defensive end, he seemed intimidated by Kevin Durant at times.
And after the first 2 games, he dominated number 35 in those first 2 games. But the last 2 games, he's looked like trash. I mean, since the All-Star break, I don't know what he ate the night before the 3-point shootout, but he need to go away. He need to wash the flush out of his system.
There's no sense of urgency on that team. They are there's a culture of losing. They're okay with losing. Period. They're okay. There are no repercussions. We lose, all right, on to the next game.
Yeah.
We don't win a ring like that.
It's an assumption that we'll make the playoffs. It'll be fine. Whether it's 8 seed or not, we'll be there. The fans will be fine, and we'll kick it up into gear. And with all of us being veterans, we'll figure it out. And I don't think that's going to be worth more than 2, maybe 3 wins, period. And 3 is being probably generous for the whole playoff experience. And that's, like I said, just all depending on how the seeding lands. But that's our Oklahoma City Thunder talk, man. We about to get out of here and do our final cuts. But before the final cut, Jay, how you feel about Dez Bryant right now, man?
I mean, I feel like they're gonna bring him back. I mean, even though they sound Allen Hurd and Bryce
Petty,
guy's name Bryce. Yeah, he went to the Cardinals. They're gonna re-sign him. I mean, Jerry said he's gonna bring him back, so they're gonna bring him back. But I will say it don't matter because the Los Angeles Rams are gonna win the Super Bowl next year. They done went out and got everybody. They got Brandon Cook, Sue. Didn't they get to leave from the Broncos?
Yep.
They've shored up their defense, so they ready for. You got a nice young coach who's about 32 years old. You know, everybody likes him, so I'm already calling it right now. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl next year.
It's funny. I called that like 2 shows ago, but
you did.
Yeah.
Negro Damas.
All right, so go ahead, Jay, man. Take it away with your final cut, boss.
Keep in mind, you're ready to eat dinner.
I am.
You got plates to serve, son.
I think my let me shut up. Right now in Oklahoma, we're dealing with a teacher walkout. A lot of people are. It's on the national news, and a lot of people are saying, "Why are these teachers walking out?" You know, it's kind of sad when you have educators who've worked in this field for over 20 years, who make X amount of dollars, but a person that's fresh out of college can go to Texas and make more money than they can in their first year. If you don't see the problem right there, then you need to be a part of the solution. The teachers right now, they're not walking out just for salary. They're also walking out to help your children out as well. You know, these children are using books that have been around since 1998. They're using outdated computers. They're sitting in desks that have broken. You know, they need these resources, and we need to support these teachers in any way, shape, or form here in Oklahoma. And these politicians who are going to be looking to be reelected in November need to take note of what's going on and get on the good foot and help these Oklahoma educators be able to make the same amount of money that is competitive with the surrounding states in the surrounding region. So, you know, if you know anybody that's an Oklahoma teacher, you know, just show them love and just continue to support them. And as I always say, winners win, losers lose, and they all find a way to do what they do. My name is Jay Rock, and I'm out of here. Deuce.
Yo, I'm an old school cat who love video games, man. One of the video games, I think one of the best video games ever made is called Super Mario Brothers. I believe that's how relationships are. Relationships are basically this. You go through your first screen, and every first screen has a monster you got to beat to get to the next screen. Okay? So when you get past that monster, go to the next screen, it's going to always be an even bigger enemy on that stage. So that's pretty much what relationships are. They're like a big Super Mario Brothers game. Each level that you get to, once you get past that big monster that you got to defeat, your relationship goes to the next level. And that's either whether it's friendship, a romantic relationship, marriage, or whatever it is. It's all like a big Super Mario Brothers game. Just know that each time you get past that one enemy and get to the next level, it's always a good thing. And you just keep going to the next level until you reach what you're trying to reach in your relationships. Relationships, Super Mario Brothers, one and the same. And with that, don't tell God about your big problems. Tell your problems you got a big God. And I'm out.
All right, so my encouragement for you today is to just be uniquely who God made you. You are beautiful where you are, and you actually have a chance at changing the world. But it's up to you to walk out there, face your giants, and do it the way God has equipped you to do it. You can't do it the way mama and daddy and everybody else did it. You got to do it the way God gave it to you. There are a lot of people who make headway and do a lot of different things by lobbying Congress. We just see a lot of people rally together with love at the basis of it for the future of our children, and they were able to make a difference opposite of what's suggested. They say if you want to make a difference with any politician, you line their pockets. That didn't happen this go round. You can fight. You can make a difference. Be encouraged by the things you see around you and know you have a unique fight for you. I don't know what it might be, but go out there and fight that fight because you will overcome and you will win. All right. Be encouraged. I love you for listening. Thank you for listening to the Barbershop 918. And remember, I said it backwards, guys. Remember, hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. And check us out at
TheBarbershop918.com. Catch us on Buzzsprout, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just Google us. If you ain't looking for us, if you don't find us, that means you ain't looking for us. And if you ain't looking for us, you missing out. Because we are the Barbershop 918, the best ever, episode 99. Deuces.
Gia.